wild creativity, how to tap into it, what I know, what I don't know, and where I'm at. Hey, it's Heather Chauvin, wife, mother of 3 boys, former social worker, breadwinner, recovering hustler, and stage 4 cancer survivor. I'm not a fan of that term, by the way. Beyond all of these titles and labels, I'm a human being, just like you, attempting to navigate it all while feeling good. My goal on this podcast is to show you that you can live an energized, sustainable life, both at home and in your work. It doesn't matter if you stay at home full-time, if you work from home, you're a CEO, a successful business owner, or trying to find some inspiration. On this show, I attempt to keep it real with stories, interviews, and random thoughts. This is not a business or career podcast, and it's not a parenting podcast. It's both and so much more. You will laugh. You may even cry, and you may even get a little frustrated with the truth you've been hiding from yourself. I believe all human behavior is a language, whether it's through your child's behavior, your health, or a relationship. And when we learn to listen instead of react, we begin to understand what it truly means to feel alive and in control. It's time to put your big girl pants on and find your brave. Let's go. Hey guys, just a heads up, this is an explicit podcast for a reason. We are adults having adult conversations, and I'm excited to bring to you the Mom is in Control podcast, where it's all about helping you as a woman feel in control of your life, to let loose, but also to know that you are more than a mother. You are more than a woman who has been gifted the opportunity to bring children through this world. And today I want to talk about wild creativity. All right, wild creativity. So if you've been listening to the podcast for a little while, you know I'm writing a book, and I'm in the process of going through my outline, proposal, all of this fun stuff, and the joys of writing. I used to have so much resistance, and I talked about this a lot on the podcast about like, I can't do this. I'm not a writer, blah, blah, blah. That was all just a form of resistance. The truth is, I can do this. I got this. I know what I'm doing. But we need to create the space in our life for what we truly desire. And in order to cultivate and create wild creativity and getting into that space, it's a different lifestyle. It's a different lifestyle shift. You've got to be willing to be committed to the habitual patterns. And in order to do that, you have to have self-discipline and focus. And so what I have found is the more I go down this writing path, because writing is the outlet for the creativity to leash open, is there's this space of like not feeling in control, right? When you feel really out of control in your life, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, time, money, energy, whatever it is, you try to control other things. You try to control other people. You try to control things around you. And art and creativity, especially writing, is one of those things that you can't control. And so writing, yes, you can write lists, you can, wild free write. I do a lot of free writing, and that just makes no sense to a lot of people, especially the type A, like perfection-y control freaks, because they're like, what is this? I don't understand. Well, your creative brain just wants to let loose. And so there's this part of you that wants to like, just let go, right? Just let loose and let be and be free and let it out. And so I found this quote by Lady Gaga, and I don't know, I have something for Lady Gaga. Like, I just really connect to her story, her own personal struggles, and that she's just wildly creative, and she puts herself out there so boldly, and other people judge her, and she's like, hey, this is me, this is how I express myself. And so there's a quote that I found online, and it said, when you make music or write or create, it's really your job to have mind-blowing, irresponsible, condomless sex with whatever idea it is that you're writing about at the time. I'm going to repeat that. When you're making music, when you're writing, whether you're creating, it's your job to have mind-blowing, irresponsible, condomless sex with whatever the ideas that you're writing about at the time. And when I read this quote, I went, yes, yes, yes. Why? Because too often as women, and if you listen to yesterday's podcast, it's about femininity and giving yourself permission to tap into the desire and the feeling and all of that, is we're structured, right? We have this time and we have this place to be a certain person, to wear a certain hat. And so when we're taking one hat off and we're putting the other hat on, we're asking ourselves like, okay, I'm this person, now I'm this person. You kind of lose yourself. And when you lose yourself in the way, you don't feel like you can just be quote unquote reckless, that you can have this abundance, right? This abundance of just letting go, mind-blowing, giving yourself permission to feel pleasure, to feel enjoyment, to feel excitement. And so this is kind of the dark side of creativity, because in order to fully express yourself, you have to go into this space where you can just be yourself and to let that fucking shit out. And so a lot of my quote unquote struggle or challenge has been mentally to go, okay, when I'm writing, allow it to be the first shitty draft. Like, allow the shit just to let go. Like, get this shit out and then organize it. And then try to have somebody, help you organize your thoughts, create an outline, whatever. But just let this fucking shit out.
Hey, I know it's annoying when people interrupt their podcasts with an advertisement midway through, but I'm doing it for good reason. I'm curious, are you ready to discover what your life would look like if failure and fear didn't exist? Understanding how to co-create with these uncomfortable emotions has transformed how I show up as a mother, a wife, a friend, a business owner, and a human being. Working as much or as little as I desire. Living with a whole heart. Healthier than I've ever been while being more present with my children and not missing out on their childhoods. And I want you to experience this too, which is why I created Alive. It's an intimate experience for high-achieving women who want to attract more time, money, and energy in their lives without the exhausting hustle or overwhelm. If 2020 includes getting uncomfortable and up-leveling your personal development and professional game, come join us. February 6th and 7th in Detroit, Michigan for this unique experience. And when you register on or before December 24th, you will gain access to a 2-hour online workshop. It's live. I'm going to show you the step-by-step strategy and show you how to discover to find the time for you and still accomplish everything you want this year. For details on this bonus, travel, accommodations, and details of the day of the event, check out heatherchauvin.com/alive. That's Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/alive. And if you have a personal question before registering, just simply fill out the contact form on that page. How would you show up differently, both personally and professionally, if you decided that success and feeling good on your own terms was the only option? Think about it. The choice is yours. I look forward to meeting you. heatherchauvin.com/alive.
And so creativity is about being you. And too often we want to know what is the end result going to look like, but it's okay. You have your canvas, you have your paints, you have your paintbrush. Even if you're like, I don't know what I'm painting, just open one color. Put it on the canvas and just go from there. And even if you layer it 10 times, that's okay. But just get started. And so the biggest challenge for me has been creating the space, because when you become conscious enough, you realize not having time is an excuse. And then once you do have the time and you're like, oh yeah, these 2 hours I'm going to write, you will literally manifest anything to get into the way of that creativity. But the truth is, in order to create that expansive freedom that you truly desire in your work, in your relationships, your marriage, your money, your time, your energy, you got to feel the goods. You got to feel the pleasure, and you got to give yourself permission to fully run wild with it. So today, my action step for you is, what is your creative outlet? And if you're like, Heather, I have no creative outlet, then ask yourself, what did you enjoy as a young girl? And head back into that thing. So it could be, I don't know, it could be scrapbooking. This weekend, I felt called to do a vision board, and I've never wanted to do a vision board. And I didn't want to do it because I wanted this big vision. I was just like, I want to get back into my creativeness of whatever. So I got a whole bunch of magazines. I got some girlfriends together, and we just created a vision board. And, I created it, and I was like, okay, this isn't like mind blowing or anything. But the truth is, I just wanted to tap into creativity and creating something. So what is your thing? What's that thing that you've been wanting to create? Maybe it's painting a room. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's, I don't freaking know, just going to a museum. Allowing yourself to be fully embodied, mind blown, irresponsible, condomless sex with whatever your creative idea is. I'm giving yourself permission to do it. So I want to know, what is that thing that you've been avoiding, that creative outlet that you so desperately crave? What's holding you back? Send me your story. I want to know. support@heatherchauvin.com. And so for me, getting into this is starting routine. And so I've had my accountability partners who are holding me accountable to creating something that, it's going to drive me nuts. But creating the space, I need the boundaries, I need the accountability to really dive into this. So I'll give you more like what's going on behind the scenes once I'm through this process. But you just got to let loose and give yourself permission to want what you want. Because guys, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for your kids. Because a woman fully self-expressed is a force to be reckoned with.
According to a study published on Fast Company, conducted at the University of Kansas, women are burning out at an alarming rate, even before having children. And that number rises with the additional responsibility of raising a family. And the gap between ambition and putting themselves in a position for promotion isn't going anywhere. Why, you ask? The world needs more empowered mothers, women who are willing to unlearn everything that they've been taught, women who are courageous enough to feel good and not feel guilty for it. I am living proof that you can feel alive, energized, peaceful, and put yourself on your own damn to-do list and make an even bigger impact in your children's lives and those around you. I want to show you how to think, how to act, how to behave, so you can step into that version of you that has been screaming for your attention. And the best part is, all you have to do is take the next step and invest 2 minutes of your time and book a complimentary call with someone on my team to see if my community and coaching is the right fit for your big vision. The relationships you desire, the money, time, and energy that you know deep down you are capable of creating. So head on over to heatherchauvin.com/let's talk. That's Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/let's talk. LETSTALK. And take the next step in the right direction. You are here because you were born to make a difference. Taking a stand for how you feel means you are taking a stand for how your children show up as adults. You've got this. Let's go.